Hello friends, hope that you have already understood seeing the thumbnail that today's topic is KMC 2009 solved question paper. So without delay, let's start with question number 1. In a simply supported beam, what load per unit length acting over the left half span of the beam will produce the same deflection at the center of the span as produced by a load W per unit length over the entire span? So let's draw the figure, okay? Simply supported beam, what load per unit length acting over left half span of the beam? So you see simply supported beam UDL, okay, load W per unit length over the entire span UDL 5 WL to the power 4 by 384 EI, right? Now this will be equal to what load, okay? So W into L by 2. So this W, let's consider it as X, okay? L by 2 whole to the power 4 divided by 384 EI plus L by 2, half of the span it is acting, so you have to add the slope only, okay? So X into L by 2 whole cube divided by 24 EI, okay? So if you calculate this, you will find the value of X, this equation, solve this equation, X will be almost equal to 2W. Just solve it and please mention in the comment section whether it is coming or not, okay? Then we will try to solve it, okay? Let's move on to next question. AB is a beam of spanel built in at the end A and simply supported on a jack at other end B. Again a propped one, this propped one, okay? A point load W at mid span, W is applied at mid span and a jack at B is adjusted until the dial on the jack registered at load W by 2. So this is, when will this come as W by 2? When the bending moment at A will be equal to 0, option D. This is just a common notation we all know, okay? So option D will be the correct answer. Let's move on to next question, question number 3. A simply supported beam of span L is acted upon by point loads each equal to P acting at L by 3 from each support, okay? Let's draw the figure. Simply supported beam, whole span is L, P acting at L by 3, another P acting at again L by 3. So this is also equal to L by 3. So when will the radius of the curvature will be over middle third length of the span? So we all know M equal to EI by R. From the bending equation only, M equal to EI by R. From here we need to find the R. Okay, so first let's find the moment. Moment is nothing but PL by 3, right? So at the over the middle third of the span, over this point, the moment is PL by 3. So radius will be equal to 3 EI divided by PL. Option B will be the correct answer. You can solve this using considering a joint as a fixed, and you have to find the reaction at first. Then after finding the reaction, just take a section over here and you can find the value. But it is simple, we know this is a very common question. So PL by 3 you can just remember by heart, but you need to, because we have seen that in WBPSC AE conceptual kind of questions are coming. So you need to understand the whole concept, otherwise you will not be able to solve any of the questions, okay? Because from SOM this kind of questions are going to come only. We have seen these also as an example of AE paper, okay? Let's move on to next question. The diameter of rivet hole is more than the nominal diameter of the rivet by. So you see diameter of rivet hole, we all know this is equal to option C. This option C will be correct because whenever it is less than 25 mm or 25 mm, we add up 1.5 mm with the nominal dia, and whenever it is greater than 25 mm, we add up 2 mm with the nominal dia, okay? So option C will be the correct answer. Let's move on to next question. The minimum pitch of rivets, okay? Minimum pitch of rivets is equal to 2.5 times of the nominal dia, okay? This is nominal dia. So option A will be the correct answer. Let's move on to next question. Effective length of long column is half of actual length when? See, this is a very important question. This concept, this theory is very important because according to my experience, what I have seen that in most of the papers, this question has been given, this theory has been given a very large importance, okay? So one or the other questions will come from this theory, and especially in municipality examinations, this theory is given a very important credit. Okay, so over here, when will be the effective length equal to half of the actual length? So L effective will be equal to L by 2. So when does this happens? When both ends of the column are fixed. Option B is the correct answer. When both ends are hinged, then it becomes L by 2. And this 2, if you know the answer of this two conditions, this two end condition, please mention in the comment section. Okay, let's move on to next question. AB is a beam fixed at end A and simply supported at end B. Okay, again a propped one, simply supported at end B and fixed at A. So this is a propped cantilever. So which of the following categories does it belong? Oh, another thing, a hinge is provided at the midspan. Okay, so there is another hinge. So we can find out that 3 unknowns are there plus 1 and hinge 1. So this is 4, and also you can find from the formula the for equilibrium equation also, that it will also come as 4. So 4 minus 4 will be equal to 0. So option A, statically determinate, will be the correct answer. Let's move on to next question. Question number 8. Suitable rivet diameter D in millimeter for plate thickness T in millimeter is given by relation. So we know Unwin's formula, we all know the formula, Unwin's formula. Okay, so steel structure is an important part that you should read before this municipality examinations. Okay, so 6.05 root under T, so option A will be the correct answer. Here 6 is given only, don't get confused, 6 will be the right answer. Okay, option A. Let's move on to next question. Maximum allowable deflection in steel beams of ordinary buildings. Yes, very important question. Correct answer is L by 325. L is the span. Okay, L is nothing but the span. Let's move on to next question. Question number 10. When wind or earthquake loads are considered, the permissible stress in structural steel may be increased by. So whenever we consider wind or earthquake load, so option B will be the correct answer. Okay, in case of structural steel and in case of rivets and bolts, we use 25% extra for considering the wind and earthquake load. Okay, let's move on to next question. For steel members not exposed to weather, the thickness of steel should not be less than. Okay, so steel members not exposed to weather, since it is not exposed to weather, so thickness of steel is, according to me, it's 5 mm. Okay, and whenever it is exposed to weather, then it will be 6 mm, and if it is exposed to weather and it's exposed for inside painting, then it will be inside painting, then it will be 8 mm, and when it is exposed to weather and for outside painting, it is 10 mm. Okay, so these things you need to remember. Okay, let's move on to next question. Question number 12. Limiting slenderness ratio of a tie member in a truss subjected to possible reversal of wind stress. So in our AE papers, previous year AE papers, we have discussed this question so many times. Okay, so correct answer is 350. Next question, limiting strain in concrete as defined in IS 456-2000. Very common question. Option B is the correct answer, 0.0035. Minimum cover to reinforcement in slabs should be. Now this is a bit confusing question because somewhere it is given 15 mm, but in our IS we will consider it as 20 mm, since in our 456-2000 we will consider this as standard, so 20 mm will be the correct answer. Next question, in Fe 415 grade steel, 415 Newton per millimeter square is. See, in our A paper only 500 this question has been given, which of the following is correct answer. If you see our previous video, you can see over there. So 415 is nothing but the yield stress. This is the FY1. Okay. Next question, the minimum percentage of tension reinforcement in RCC beams. Minimum percentage of tension reinforcement is 0.85 Fy. Okay, and just mention in comment section what is the minimum reinforcement in, what is the minimum percentage in compression reinforcement. Mention it in comment section. Okay, let's move on to next question number 17. Minimum percentage of longitudinal reinforcement in RCC column. So this is another question. This is another important question, common one, but longitudinal reinforcement, that will be nothing but 0.8%. Option B. Next question, effective width of flange of an RCC T-beam. See, all the things are of codal provision and we are thinking of making preparing a video, we will prepare it subject wise. Okay, so stay tuned in our channel. Okay, you will get all those things. Okay, so the correct answer will be T beam, it is L0 by 6 BW plus 6 DF, and don't forget for L beam it is L0 by 12 BW plus 3 DF. Okay, this is for L beam. Next question, question number 19. In a doubly reinforced beam, the allowable stress in compression steel is, doubly reinforced beam, allowable stress in compression steel is less than that in tensile steel. Okay, doubly reinforced, since it is a doubly reinforced beam. Okay, next question, in deltaic region, balanced cantilever type of bridge is preferred to continuous span bridge primarily because, see, if you don't know the answer to certain question, try to solve it using the options only. Okay, so earthquake resistant is not relevant over here. This is a delta region, earthquake is not a probable force. Okay, next is, you see, prevent settlement stress, let's leave it out. Okay, this is one of our needs of consideration. Economic due to saving of materials. Just for saving of economy, we cannot change the design of a structure, we will not, so this is also not the correct answer. And it is aesthetically superior, this is also not correct answer. For making it aesthetically superior only, we will not change the design, right? So option B will be the correct answer. For natural lighting, factory sheds are usually covered with, see, questions from construction, building construction is also coming. Correct answer over here will be sawtooth truss, option B. Next question, for checking one-way shear stress in a RCC isolated column with pedestal, critical section is located at, for one-way shear stress, critical section will be at a distance D from face of pedestal. D is effective depth of column. We will not consider the overall depth, we will consider the effective depth. Option C will be the correct answer. D by 2 when and face of pedestal when. These two, if you know, we have discussed already in your previous year AE papers, you mention in comments. Okay. Next question, grade of concrete indicates the concrete strength in Newton per millimeter cube square of cubes tested after. So this is very common question. This is also mentioned in IS 456. That is, our characteristic compressive strength is also related to this. So option D, 28 days, after 28 days of casting. If D is effective depth, horizontal distance between parallel main reinforcement bars, we have already discussed in AE 2020 paper, clause number 26.3.3 of IS 456 2000, 3D or 300 mm, whichever is less. So since it is a main bar, you can remember like this, since it is a main reinforcement bar, so we will provide lesser the spacing, more the strength, but we will have to consider certain limits for spacing, because otherwise if so much of reinforcement, it will be difficult to place the concrete. Okay, so 3D or 300 mm is the minimum, it should not be more than 3D or 300 mm, spacing should be lesser. Okay, and 5D or 450 mm, this is for distribution bars. Next question, coefficient of active earth pressure, 1 minus sin phi by 1 plus sin phi, option B is the correct answer, and 1 plus sin phi by 1 plus sin phi is the coefficient of passive earth pressure. The collapse side of a borehole can be prevented by, using bentonite slurry. Okay. Next question, gross foundation pressure at the underside of a footing placed 2 meter below GL in the soil with unit weight 1.8 ton per meter square is 12 ton per meter square. Net foundation pressure. Now you see what formula we will use. So ultimate or the net foundation pressure will be Qg minus gamma d. Put the values 12 minus 1.8 into 2. If you calculate, 8.4 will be the answer, option D. The base pressure at one side of a retaining wall foundation becomes 0 when the resultant acts at a distance. This we all know, when the resultant acts at a distance of 1 by 6, B by 6 from the center. Next question, final deflection of a simply supported beam should not exceed. So final deflection, this is an incomplete question according to me, because for the finished portion, it is span by 350 is the maximum one, but or 20 mm, whichever is less. Okay, but span by 250 is also final deflection for when measured from as cast level. We all know this is given in IS 456. So up to because nothing is mentioned, so we will consider span by 350. Next question, if active earth pressure coefficient of granular soil is 1 by 3, passive earth pressure coefficient. 1 by 3 means you have to find the phi. This is the theoretical approach, but if you remember it, phi will be 30 degree. You just calculate it using the formula. Formula we have discussed just a few questions before. So correct answer will be option D, passive earth pressure. Next question, a trapezoidal combined footing is generally used. So when will you use a trapezoidal combined footing? So this is a different kind of question. This is a new kind of question. So correct answer will be when the column loads are unequal, and also when the distance between outside the column will have heaviest load. Okay, this is another thing, and that is limited. That cannot distribute the load properly. Next question, the penetration test of bitumen is done under a load of 100 gram at 25 degrees centigrade for. This is another, because if you don't know about the penetration test, then you will not be able to answer this question. Correct answer is option C, 5 seconds, and depth of 1/10 of an mm. 1/10 of an mm. So we find the grade from this 80 by 100 grade bitumen or 30 by 40 grade bitumen. This is from this things we get from the penetration test only. Okay, and 1/10 of the depth, 1/10 of the depth in millimeter is applied for the penetration test. Next question, non-cohesive material compaction can be achieved by. Non-cohesive means granular kind of soil, compaction vibratory rollers, and for cohesive type of soil we will use the shift foot roller. Okay. Next question, in highway construction on super elevated curves. So this question we have already done using normally in highway construction the super elevation will start from sides and to proceed towards the center, but it is already a super elevated curve. So it will start from lower edge towards the upper edge. Option C is the correct answer. And super elevation values also you need to remember that in case of plain and rolling terrain it is 7% maximum value of super elevation. In case of snow bound areas also it is 7%, and normally it is 10%. Okay, this is maximum value, and we will come up with another question on this paper only which asks for the minimum value of super elevation. Let's move on to next question, the ratio of weight of water to weight of soil solids. We all know this answer. Option D, water content. Next question, Lacey's formula for determining the, this is also a PYQ from WBPSC AE paper, okay, previous year question. So correct answer will be 4.8 root under Q, or rather we have seen 4.75 root under Q. So 4.8 is mentioned over here. So option C will be the correct answer. Next question, scour depth for bridge foundation mainly depends on, see, importance have been given to scour depth. So it depends on three conditions. One is flow, another is spire, the characteristics of spire, and another is sediment characteristics. So over here sediment characteristics, if we see that sediment characteristics, only thing related to these three is that silt factor, because silt factor depends on the sediment characteristics depends on the silt factor. So option B will be the correct answer. Safe effect of grade on safe overtaking side distance. This is a question from a popular book. So correct answer will be to increase it on both descending and ascending grade. Option C will be the correct answer. Next question, most commonly accepted test for hardness of aggregate. So most commonly accepted test is Los Angeles abrasion test. Soundness is for soundness test, we all know. Flakiness index for the shape of aggregate. We test the shape of aggregate, flakiness and elongation, 3/5 of mean dimension, least lateral dimension, and water absorption test for percentage of water absorption of aggregates. Okay. Next question, the full width of land acquired for constructing a highway alignment is known as, this is one of the important questions, this is right of the way. Extra land is already acquired before constructing a highway. Okay. Next question, length, L is the length of vehicles in meters, C is the clear distance between two consecutive vehicles, this will be H, there will be one H, okay. The distance between two consecutive vehicles, stopping side distance, distance between two consecutive vehicles is the stopping side distance only, V is the speed of vehicles, and maximum number of vehicles per hour will be equal to 1000 V divided by L plus C. Option A is the correct answer. In laboratory, CBR is usually selected as, so we all know, correct answer is 2.5 mm. So we take two values, one at 2.5 mm, another at 5 mm. Okay. Next question, an exceptional grade may be provided up to 1 in 12 along hill roads if the length does not exceed. So correct answer is 100 meter per kilometer. Option B will be the correct answer. Somewhere the answer is given 60, but this is not correct. Okay, this is after steep flat gradient is needed. Okay, flat gradient is required. Next, as per IRC, super elevation can be calculated by the formula. See, we have seen that E equal to V square by 127 R. This is the formula we all know. But for design purpose, we consider V square by 225 R. This is for design purpose. Okay. So correct answer we will consider C, but you need to remember B can also be the answer. You please check it, and if you know, then please mention in comments that whether it will be C or B, because both of them are correct. And this F we don't consider, because F we neglect, and lateral friction we neglect whenever we are designing, right? Next question, when an upgradient meets a steeper upgradient, vertical curve provided is. So let's see this question in details. Let's see. Now, first of all, we will start with summit curve. Two types of curve are there. One is summit, another is valley curve. So for summit curve, first thing what it does is that it comes from plus n1 to plus n2, means upper steeper to steeper. So from this one only we can say answer is option D, summit curve. Next condition is that from n1 to 0, from plus n1 to 0, gradient is plus n1 to 0 it can come, or it can come from plus n1 to minus n2. Here the angle of deviation will become n1 plus n2. Okay, here n1 minus n2, here only n1, and the last one will be minus n1. Okay, it can come like this minus n1 to minus n2, minus n1 to minus n2. Here the angle of deviation will be n2 minus n1. So from all these things we have understood that summit curve will be the correct answer. But let's, since the exam is near, let's also discuss the valley curve. Okay, so valley curve, what it does is that first is minus n1 to minus n2, minus n1 to minus n2. Okay, minus n1 to minus n2. Next is our minus n1 to 0. It will come from minus n1 to 0. Next is minus n1 to plus n2. This will come like this only, minus n2. Minus n1 to plus n2 is this one, minus n1 to plus n2, and last one is plus n1 to minus n2, plus n1 to minus n2. Okay, so these are the things, just remember. So over here correct answer will be option D, summit curve, and valley curve or sag curve are the same thing. Next question, while calculating the side distance, driver's eye above road surface, so driver's eye above road surface will be 1.2 meter, and another thing, object, the height of object above road surface, mention in comments. Okay, mention in comments whether you know the answer or not, just check your preparation. Next question, the suitable transition curve for easy setting out in field. Now you see, IRC specifies that clothoid spiral is the ideal transition curve. Okay, correct answer is option D. Next question, cubic spiral is there is also a possibility, but this is not correct, since this does not occurs in case of roadway. This is in case of railway probably, or cubic parabola. And lemniscate and parabola, these two are not correct, since the rate of change of centrifugal acceleration, we find out now the length of transition curve using this rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. This is not constant in case of lemniscate and cubic parabola. Next question, the PCU of a taxi is 1, same truck will tentatively be. We have solved a question in our AE paper 4, right, previous year paper 1998 paper 4, that regarding this kind of this passenger car unit question. So IRC recommends it as 3. So it will be correct answer is 3, and for a taxi is 1. Need to remember this PCUs. Okay. Next question, value of ruling gradient in place as per IRC. We all know the answer, 1 in 30, option C. As per IRC, the width of a 2-lane carriageway with curb it is equal to 2-lane carriageway, since it is equal to 7.5 meter, and if it is a single lane carriageway, then it will be equal to if it is a single lane or it is a 2-lane carriageway without curve, it will be 7 meter, and this multi-lane pavements, it will be 3.5 meter per lane for multi-lane pavements. Okay, this is for multi-lane pavements, and for intermediate carriageway this is 5.5 meter with rest curve. Grade compensation on hill roads. See, in hill roads there is already steep gradient already exists, so we cannot provide extra compensation to grade in, we will not increase. So option A and option D is not correct, and we never provide gradient in case of vertical curve, so option B will be the correct answer. Next question, headlight side distance should be at least equal to. Very important question. Headlight side distance is equal to, it should be at least equal to the stopping side distance. Next question, along a hill road it is essential to provide a side drain on. So where will we provide the side drain along a hill road? Correct answer is option D, inner side of both spur curve and re-entrant curve. Both spur curve and re-entrant curves inner side we will provide the side drain. Next question, minimum value of super elevation on a national highway with rigid pavement. With rigid pavement, minimum value of super elevation. Minimum value is asked. Okay, minimum value it is asking. So correct answer will be probably 7% will be the minimum value. This you need to provide. Steeper super elevation may be provided. We have already discussed now. Next question, maximum number of vehicles moving on a road at any section during 1 hour is known as. So maximum number of vehicles which can move is our traffic capacity, not volume but the traffic capacity, right? Next question, a transition curve helps to what will a transition curve help to? It will help to prevent the sudden increase of overturning force. Option D will be the correct answer. Next question, number of members in a simply supported statically determinate truss. This we have discussed. Correct answer is 2j minus 3, option D. Next question, prop reaction in a propped. I'll not answer this question. This we have discussed so many times. 3 by 8 WL, also repeated in our PSC AE paper. The weight of 100 cubic meters of soil sample is 200 gram and its weight when dried is 150 gram. Moisture content, easy one. Just subtract 50, 200 minus 150, 50 by 150 into 100. Correct answer is option C, 31.33. Sorry, it will be 33.33. Next question, when water flows through a soil mass, the flow line known as pharetic line. So what will happen in a pharetic line? We all know. Pharetic line, the flow is atmospheric. Option C is the correct answer. The flow is atmospheric. Option C will be the correct answer. Next question, in limit state method of design, the partial safety factor for concrete is 1.5 and for steel it is 1.15. Also we have discussed in working stress method. Mention in comment section whether you know or whether you remember the safety factor for working stress method. The quicksand condition takes place when hydraulic gradient. This is also a very repeat question. G minus 1 by 1 plus E, option D. Orientation of plane table. Orientation of plane table, actually you see, orientation we don't do with respect to the north, we do na. So trough compass will be the correct answer, and when we use the alley-dead, many of you will comment that alley-dead it will be, but intersection, whenever we are doing the intersection process we will use the alley-dead. Otherwise orientation is done always with the respect to north. Next question, which of the following statements about dip of the magnetic needle is correct? So dip is what? It is the vertical angle between the magnetic needle and the horizontal or parallel line or the earth's line. Okay. So that will be 90 degree at poles. Dip is maximum at poles and it is minimum at equator, 0 degree at equator. Next question, the purpose of 3-point problem. What does the 3-point problem does? It determines the location of station with the help of 3 known stations. Option A will be the correct answer. Next question, the horizontality of Truman axis theodolite is checked by. This is a very common question. Spire test will be the correct answer. Next question, choose the correct statement in leveling. Correct statement, what is the correct statement? This is also not correct. This is not correct. BS minus summation. This is actually summation of Fs minus summation of Bs. Summation of Fs minus summation of Bs equal to first RL minus last RL. Chain survey is based on chain survey. The principle of chain survey is framework of triangles or triangulation. We always try to reach towards a well conditioned triangle. Next question, compaction in soil is one in which there is a compaction is reduction in air voids, and reduction of water voids is consolidation, right? Consolidation. Plane table survey is particularly suitable for cadastral survey. Option C will be the correct answer. Isogonic line on a map is the line. What is an isogonic line? Isogonic line is lines joining points of equal declination or same declination. Option B will be the correct answer, and same declination and equal declination both are the same thing, na? Points of line joining points of same declination or equal declination, and line, I think this is not same, this is iso means the same, line joining points of zero declination, this will be zero, right? So this will be agonic line. Equal declination is isogonic and zero declination is agonic. Purpose of adding pozzolana in cement. So pozzolana increases durability, increases shrinkage, increases heat of hydration, and quick development is, yes, it increases the strength, but not quick, we cannot say. Two axes in a bar chart represent. So bar chart is time or versus activity. Which of the following has highest percentage of carbon content? So you see carbon content, we all know cast iron, because it is almost 2.5 to 3% of iron content seems, and for this reason it is very hard and it is very brittle also. Brittleness increases with carbon content. Mild steel is having low. High carbon steel 0.15 to 1.5, and stainless steel is an alloy. So there is no question of whether it is having a high carbon content or not. CPM network. So CPM network is an activity oriented network. This is a question, very important question. Time oriented is our bar chart, because we have seen time versus the activity, and resource oriented is our Gantt chart probably. Okay, Gantt chart we have seen, and event oriented is part network. We will come up with a video where we will discuss this part and CPM part, this construction project management part, because this plays a very important role in case of municipality examinations, so that you can see this video and you can assess yourself before the examination. Okay. Increase in fineness in ordinary Portland cement results in. So what will fineness in OPC, what will it result in? It will result in strength. It will increase the strength and it will increase the heat of hydration also. Ring shakes are defect in timber. So ring shakes occurs like this. If this is the ring shake, then this portion, this is ring shake. Okay. Option A will be the correct answer. Rives formula for flood estimate, we have discussed this. PYQ, we have discussed this. You will see one magic that I don't know whether this paper, who have given me this paper, whether it is actually the 2007 paper or not, but I have seen one thing, that this paper has very much similarity to a paper of the PhD paper of 1998. Okay, that questions have been repeated. You will see one by one, all the questions are almost repeated. So Rives formula, correct answer is Ca to the power 2 by 3, and our Dickens formula is Ca to the power 3 by 4. Dickens formula. Okay, this is Dickens formula, and our Fanning's formula is to the power 5 by 6. Next question, anti-siphonage pipe. Anti-siphonage for securing water seal. Option A will be the correct answer. And trap, various types of traps we use for preventing the foul smell. Infiltration gallery. What is the function of this? See, this is a repeat question. Infiltration gallery is a trench dug in the riverbed, and a well sank is our infiltration well, right? And perforated pipe lead, this is a horizontal tailpipe, and impounding reservoir is a different thing, you know. In conventional sewage treatment plant employing trickling filters, the grit chamber, where is the grit chamber placed? It is ahead of PST, ahead of the primary settling tank. This is also a repeat question. You will see all the questions from this last 20 questions, they have, I think they have repeated, or I don't know whether this question is okay, but I have got this question from some good source. Okay, so I can't ignore this. You can ignore this. pH value of maintained in the digestion zone of sludge digester, I have told before also, 8.5 to 9.5. Somewhere it is mentioned 7, somewhere it is also mentioned it's less than 7. So 8.5 to 9.5 we will consider standard. Okay. Next, self-cleansing velocity recommended for sanitary sewers. See, sanitary sewers I have told in before paper also, between these two answer will be 0.8, probably it is taken, but standard is 0.8, but somewhere it is 1 MPS is also considered. Next question, considering the hydraulic properties based shape of sewer, we have already discussed this also. Let's discuss the question. It's not bad to discuss questions again, repeat questions, because it keeps revision, good revision also. Option B, circular will be the correct answer, and egg-shaped sewer is the ideal shape for combined one. Okay. Next question, during sewer cleaning the workers are exposed to hazards primarily due to, because sewer gases, the primary sewer gas is our methane. 70% of the sewer gas consists of methane, so therefore it will be presence of methane. Next, removal of excess iron from public water supply, this is also a repeat question. Aeration. Process of biological waste treatment and stabilization ponds is governed by, so previous paper I have told bacterial, but not, that is not the correct answer. This is not correct. Algal bacterial symbiosis is the correct answer. Sludgeization process produces gas with maximum content of methane, 70% methane, 25% carbon dioxide, and this nitrogen, hydrogen sulfide, other gases consist of 5%. Next question, plumbing system, which is in, I have not got this question right because this was not clear to me. Important appendices are installed, all these are appendices or appurtenances are installed in all these systems, but water distribution system, all the appurtenances are installed, that is the traps, the pipes, all these things. Okay. Next question, recirculation in activated sludge. Why is recirculation done? Recirculation is done in order to supply seed materials to aeration tank. Next question, removal of taste and odor. Taste and odor is removed by adsorption. Option D will be the correct answer. Next question, principal objective of coagulation flocculation unit of a water treatment plant is removal of, so water treatment plant for coagulation flocculation, the impurities which are suspended but they are in colloid form, so colloidal impurities is the correct answer. This question is again repeated in question number 94 also. Sewers should not be designed to run full. So why is sewer not designed to run full? To facilitate ventilation of sewer. Option C is the correct answer. Principal objective of coagulation flocculation unit of a water treatment plant. So coagulation flocculation unit principal objective, we have already discussed this question. Gaseous pollutant in air which combines with hemoglobin, carbon monoxide forms carbo-oxyhemoglobin. So then it is very hazardous to our health. Intensity of air pollution is found to be highest during winter. Next question, which of the following is expected to be the major constituent of principle of municipal solid waste in developing countries? Correct answer is dust and cinder. Next question, which of the following air pollutants causes irritation of the eye? Irritation of the eye. Photochemical oxidants or PAN is the correct answer. Next question, electrostatic precipitators are used to control air pollution due to suspended particles or suspended materials. ESP trap suspended materials. On mass basis, large fraction of solid waste from typical Indian city, it is non-combustible organics or non-combustible inorganics also. Option C is the correct answer. Whichever is not combustible is very hazardous. So with this we have completed our 100 questions. Okay, please check the questions and please subscribe to our channel.